that on that large size, because it's the most popular, we just thought we'd bonus it, because a large size is by far and away the greatest savings. And the reason we do this, it's much more efficient. And a lot of folks have asked, why don't you do auto ship? Well, companies do auto ship, and they do 30-day, 60-day auto ship. So that means every year you're forcing a truck to deliver a product to you. Every year there's a different bottle. What I'd rather do is give you 600 capsules of cranberry. That lasts a year and 8 months. One bottle, one cap, one label, one shipment. That's incredibly efficient. And instead of paying over 20 cents a capsule on auto ship, you're paying a little over a dime a capsule. And again, no shipping and handling, one truck shipment, so it's environmentally sound and it's more economical by far for you.
That's it. So if you're ordering the Ultimate Friendly Flora, hold on. We thank you so much for your calls. If you're dealing with any digestive issues whatsoever, give that product a try. I think you'll be so glad you did. The second today's special is Cranberry Benefits. If you deal with any urinary tract issues at all, any urinary tract issues, listen up. You want to learn about this. This is a gift you give yourself. This is life-changing. Those of us who take it, we love this. We swear by this. It makes a world of difference. So to support the health of your urinary tract, your kidneys, your bladders, at the most affordable, to get 600, most by far, I think 80% of the orders are this large one. And if you want the 600 count, that is the biggest value. We don't normally even offer a 600 count. So you get the 600 cap size, and we're offering it for only $79.90.
What's exciting, for me, we're not gonna have to focus on cranberry for a while, which allows us to focus on other things, but that everybody is getting to enjoy the benefits of cranberry for a little more than a dime. As I mentioned the other day, someone had said, a dime is so affordable that literally if a dime was on the ground, I might not bend down to pick it up. We were saying how we both would, but maybe we're old enough where we still remember that.
That used to make a phone call.
Exactly.
Remember that? The olden days?
Yes, a dime would make a phone call. You never even see payphones anymore.
You don't.
But again, at a dime a capsule, to get a cranberry that has been validated, we've been using cranberry in our products for a few decades. And the cranberry ingredient that we have today is the best cranberry, every cranberry ingredient that we've had, and we always try to improve the quality of every ingredient that we use, but the cranberry we have today is unparalleled in its efficacy, unparalleled in its reviews. If you read the reviews on this product, and this is not a product we feature very often, as a Today's Special, in all these years, we've probably done it 2 or 3 times as a Today's Special.
Wow.
It's not something we do that often as a Today's Special. Again, by far best pricing ever, the largest size ever, and then with the additional savings when you partner it with the Ultimate Friendly Flora, that best pricing ever is even better than it ever has been. So it's a great opportunity. Again, I said this about healthy hair, skin, and nails and Ultimate Friendly Flora. These are products that we take for specific reasons. And 30 days is generally ample time for us to be able to see a difference and be confident in keeping the product, taking advantage of that 30-day money-back guarantee that we always have. In October, because that's when sort of the holiday shopping focus begins, we get to take advantage with my products of that extended money-back warranty or guarantee. So we have an opportunity, all of you have an opportunity to try this product and to try it for 3.5 months.
Right.
And to see the difference it can make in 3.5 months. And again, if nothing else from this broadcast, if we all understand the importance of adequate hydration, and a lot of times folks will say, when I adequately hydrate, I have more urgency, I have to go to the bathroom more. The benefits of adequate hydration outweigh the inconvenience. And this is a conversation, if my mom is watching, this is a conversation I often have with my mom. And it's something it's very important that we do, that the greatest takeaway beyond getting this product, the greatest takeaway is to just really endeavor to be adequately hydrated throughout the day.
Absolutely. This product will obviously work better if you are staying hydrated. The key to this, of course, is that until you try it, you will never know. And this is your one chance. To Andrew's point, maybe 3 times in his 22 years have we done this as a Today's Special. So it's not something we normally get to do as a Today's Special, which is why this is the best day ever to try it. The key to it is that it's lovely to take. I find it to be very soothing. I love taking this. I discovered this many years ago when Andrew first launched this product. it has made a world of difference. A world of difference. I'm not gonna go into my own personal stuff except to say that this really does, I know for a fact that this truly has helped me with my urinary tract health, without a doubt. And ladies, a lot of you are, if you're taking this, you're nodding your head with me because it just works. It helps so much. And men too, because guys deal with this also. It's not just a female issue. Women do deal with urinary tract issues, but so do guys. Yep. So kidneys, kidney health, bladder health, urinary tract health. This is just a tiny little price to pay to get 600 capsules for $80, $70 if you get another $10 off if you're ordering both. I just wish people, I really want people to discover it. I think it's an amazing discovery. You know, a lot of times they say drink cranberry juice. Well, you can do that, but the cranberry juice, A, is full of sugar. In no way, shape, or form are you getting the same concentration,
yes,
that you get in one capsule of the Cranberry Benefits.
And even in so many of the reviews that I read earlier, doctors had recommended to their patients, whether it was a doctor or gynecologist who recommended cranberry juice, but again, at the same time, cautioned their patient that the cranberry juice has a tremendous amount of calories. It comes with a few dozen grams of sugar. It's about 150 calories per cup. That's a lot of calories, and that's a lot of sugar. Our product, no calories, no sugar. As I've opened it throughout the day, it's just a pretty pink, and it's all pure. And what you see there are that's the wonderful, magical benefits of cranberry. And again, cranberry, it's not, we often talk about things that are essential nutrients like omega-3s. Our body uses those nutrients there. It's a structural part of our brain, a structural part of our eye, calcium, a structural part of our bones, vitamin D, not structural, but it plays a role in all sorts of systems in our body. When we're talking about cranberry, not essential nutrients, the protective compounds in cranberry, what they exert is they exert an effect on the environment throughout our body. Again, we had questions about whether you could rinse your mouth or gargle with our cranberry. Absolutely. Open the capsule, put it in water, put it in tea. You could rinse your mouth, you can gargle, but when you're finished rinsing your mouth, swallow it. Don't spit it out. The same with our Ultimate Friendly Flora. Wow. The same question. Can I rinse my mouth with Ultimate Friendly Flora? Absolutely. And swallow it. But when you're looking at the benefits to cranberry, it exerts a health, it promotes a healthier environment in structures that inherently have challenges. If we look at the way our kidney, what our kidney function is, if we look at the role that our bladder plays, our bladder is basically a vessel. And that vessel is holding liquid until we excrete it. And it's the musculature of how that vessel works determines whether or not we feel urgency. And as we get older, that musculature, and also for women, if you've had a child or things like that, things change over the course of our lifetime. For men, as our prostate enlarges through the course of our lifetime, things change as well. So our urinary tract and bladder experience changes. Also, when we are exposed to the outside world, which out of necessity, those structures are, because at some point, we void our bladder. But being exposed to the outside world comes with potential problems. And that's where cranberry comes in terms of promoting an environment that tends to favor the friendly flora and disfavor the unfriendly flora.
Okay, I'm getting updates here. If you are thinking about the 600 count, at this present moment, there's a few more than 1,000 left here. We are down to the final couple hundred here. So if you want the large one, this is it. There's a couple minutes left in this show. This is a one-day only offer, and the day is almost over. So I should point that out. At midnight Eastern time, this offer will be expiring. I really hope you'll try it. If you're just stopping in, if you haven't placed your order yet, try it. You have that huge money-back guarantee that goes to the end of January. You will see results with this. I'm confident of that. Andrew and I are both confident of that. But if you don't see the results we're talking about, you may return the unused portion, no questions asked. But I hope that you will try it, because it makes such an enormous difference. There's nothing worse when your urinary tract is not in balance, and when your urinary tract is unhealthy, or unhappy rather. There's nothing worse than that. I mean, there's nothing worse. We were reading reviews, people get hospitalized for things like this. I mean, keeping it, and as you said, it's not a drug, it's not a medicine. It's giving our body what it needs to provide a healthier environment in our urinary tract.
As we say, adequate hydration creates a healthier environment in our urinary tract. We know that when we eat healthier, there's all sorts of benefits that flow. When we talk about things to do to avoid colds and flu, there's no magic vitamin that avoids colds and flu, but to the extent we do things that support our immune system and don't undermine our immune system, again, adequate hydration, adequate sleep, healthy nutrition, those are the things that support our immune system and we derive the benefits. Cranberry is just a natural tool that supports the environment, promotes a healthier environment in our urinary tract. It's simply how it works. It's I said earlier, it's sort of the poster child for an ingredient that has traditional history, traditional recommendations when you look at traditional medicine, but has graduated to being respected by science. So the clinical study, the science on cranberry is something that has taken the traditional medicine and validated it. So we now know, in fact, when you read most of the reviews talk about a recommendation by a doctor because, again, it's recognized. If we want to do something simple and natural, of course we have to follow our doctor's recommendations and make sure we get adequate treatment. If we have any issues with our urinary tract, bladder, kidneys, of course we do that. But part of our own self-care is being intelligent about using tools, natural tools, that achieve those same goals, pursue those same goals, and that's exactly what cranberry does.
I love that. Self-care.
Yeah.
That's the key. And you're right, our doctors tell us the importance. If you deal with UTIs, your doctor's saying, drink cranberry juice, take a cranberry supplement, and because this is common knowledge.
And adequate hydration. And then there's a number of other things. And I shouldn't be telling women this, but there's charts this. You could be educating me in this regard. But there's certain kinds of products that could be irritating or sensitizing. There's certain kind of clothing and fabrics that could be irritating and sensitizing.
Absolutely.
That could promote unfriendly flora and things like that. So again, we all know the things we can do if we pay careful attention. And cranberry is just one of those things on the list of things we can do to increase the likelihood and promote a healthier environment in a structure in our body that could potentially have issues.
Yeah, all I know is the average review is 4.7 out of perfect 5. Almost, 95% of the reviews are excellent. So, I mean, this is, until you try it, you will not know. And so I hope that you will try it. Do it for someone you love. Moms out there, if you have daughters who deal with UTIs, get them going on the cranberry benefits.
It's 97% positive reviews.
Wow.
It's just amusing.
That's fantastic.
Out of the 578 reviews,